Okay, welcome back to the channel. What would Dean ask? So today we want to ask about what are you using to measure the performance of your agility team? So I'm going to show you today the 3 charts plus one extra that I always use, and I'll show you which one's my favorite. So these charts were generated off of my random sample generator that generates 100 days worth of random data. I'll link the code to that in the show notes below. And don't forget, if you like what I have to say here, don't forget to hit subscribe and hit that notification bell. I do go live every so often, especially when with the WIP study we've been doing, so studying the different effects of WIP limits. When we get some new data there, definitely usually go live and talk about it as soon as we get it. So with that, let's talk about metrics and my 3 favorite metrics. So my 3 favorite metrics definitely are throughput, cycle time scatter plot, and the aging plot, in reverse order. Aging plot, definitely my absolute most favorite, but we're going to save that one to the end. This is my favorite. So let's talk about throughput first. So throughput is just the count of items, number of items moved through to done, in this case, over time. So the one in the top left here is just showing the number of items completed, moved to done, delivered to customer, whatever you want to call it. All right, number of items completed each week. So in this particular one, what you see here is anywhere from 1 to 5. So not very good, right? It's kind of random, 1 or 5 over 15 weeks. Pretty random. Not sure. So we're not sure if we're going to get 1 thing or 5 things. I mean, I hope I get 5 things, but I don't know if I'm going to or not. The other throughput graph here is a cumulative throughput graph, sometimes called burn up. So you might be using this, the throughput of an epic. So the epic burn up chart, real popular in Jira. So in this particular team, after about 14 weeks, you can see 15 weeks, you can see you got a little bit over 40 items, 41, 42, if I'm reading that right. Again, this is a good time where you might want to put some little tick marks, make sure your tick marks are there. So weekly throughput, cumulative throughput. The weekly throughput is definitely more valued than the cumulative throughput. I'm going to show you that in a second. If you're looking at now the top right, then you have the cycle time scatter plot. So what this is showing is the x-axis is the day of the item completed. And usually your cycle time scatter plot is probably, it may be at a slightly different metric than your throughput. So cycle time scatter plot weekly. So cycle time scatter plots in days, throughputs in weekly. So daily, what I finished per day, and then how long it took for me to finish that item. And notice how in this particular one, that the longer we go in time, the further we go in time, the items are taking longer and longer and longer. I'll explain it to you why that's happening in just a second. So the last one here then is the aging plot. I said it's my favorite. One of the reasons why this one is my favorite is because it's a leading indicator. So the other 3 are lagging indicators, meaning that you're not going to get the data until you're done. With the aging plot, this is actually showing you what's going on today. So each one of these bars here, these represent an item that is currently in progress. So, like I mentioned, this is fake data. If this was real data, it would be labeled with the item that it is. So it'd say Jira 123, Epic 456, ticket ABC, right? Something like that, and they would be labeled. So what it's showing is when the item started on the far left and how long it's been going on. So, like, look at that item at the bottom, right? It started on day 83, and now it's day 100. So, for over 27 days, that item has been in progress. We only collected 100 days worth of data. So, for almost 25% of the time, over 25% of the time, this thing was in progress. So, high aging, long cycle time, random throughput, this almost always is indicative of a high WIP system. There's too much going on, and you can see there's too much going on. Look at the aging plot. There's 7 items. There's 7 items in progress right now. One of which has been in progress for 27 days. 2, 3, so 3 more have been in progress for over 10 days. It's too long. By the way, I can't math. Sorry, not 27 days, but 17 days. Anyway, not even 17. 15, 6, yes, 17. Don't ask Dean to math in his head. That's the lesson learned here today. Y'all get it. All right. Anyway, I'm totally leaving that in because we like it raw around here. So high WIP system. All right. Big aging, lots of aging items. Cycle time's getting out of control. Throughput is random. Now, here's the beauty of Dean's random sample script is we can change some things about that. So let's see what happens when we change this to say, hey, I don't know, maybe a WIP of 3. Right. So, by the way, if you're looking on the screen, what you see is that by the way, that particular system was run at a WIP of 25. Right. So the WIP is so high, the system couldn't even fill it up. So WIP of 3. All right. Let's rock and roll. All right. Now look at that. Let's run it. Let's run it one more time at a WIP of 3. Just get a little bit better chart. All right. Actually, let's not do that. So what we did is we actually seeded this. So that same random scenario. So this time, all we did was change the WIP limits, but things could make progress at the same probability. Look at what we did to that system that was out of control. Okay. We've now stabilized the throughput. So the throughput is at least 2 on most weeks. All right, so now we've got, so throughput has been stabilized a little bit. Not all the way, but somewhat. Look at what happened to our cycle time. We cut our cycle time in half. In half. Okay? Look at what happened to our cumulative throughput, right? So after 15 weeks, we're still looking at about 40 items. Maybe we lost maybe 1 or 2. And there's nothing left in the aging plot. The aging plot didn't even come up. And right, there's nothing there. Because there's nothing left in the system. That was a pause for effect. Again, this is not about WIP. I guess it is. But this is about what you're seeing on your chart. Notice how, and this is why I left this in for this conversation. Notice how that cumulative throughput, that epic burn up, that release burn up, whatever, it's not telling you what you need to know. It's not showing you that, hey, your throughput is out of control. Hey, your cycle time is high. Hey, you've got a lot of items that you've been working on for too long. That's why the aging plot, in my opinion, is the number one thing that you should be using as an agile metrics. How many items are you working on right now? And how long have you been working on them? If you have an aging plot at your stand-up, then you can actually ask what I call the lean questions. What's old? What's blocked? And then what's new? I don't care about what you did yesterday. I care about what you didn't do yesterday. What got stuck? We don't want to talk about that stuff. So let's let the metrics show us that. So Dean's 3 favorite charts in this order: aging, cycle time, throughput. If you show me a epic burn up chart, I'm going to throw it away. It's not doing me any good. The only thing that thing is good for is for me to see how much I think I can plan for the next epic or the next quarter. All right, again, this is What Would Dean Ask with Dean Channer. Thanks for watching. If you like it, don't forget to hit subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a comment. Thank you.